Hi everyone. My name is Dolores Tapia and I'm an immigration attorney, and today I want to talk to you about the ITIN number program of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and how the ITIN number program has helped the federal government and other governments obtain benefit from the huge sums of money that the undocumented community pays into the several government systems. And I get really frustrated when people, without knowing the truth, attack immigrants, especially undocumented immigrants, because they don't know that these immigrants are not really taken away from our systems. They're always accused of benefiting from our public systems, and yet they don't. They are not able to apply for any public benefits. On the contrary, they are contributing through the ITIN number program of the IRS towards payment of taxes at all levels of government. And because they are undocumented, they will never be able to collect from those benefits. So first, let me give you a little bit of history about how the ITIN program number got started. And this was after the immigration reform of 1986 finished giving legal status to the undocumented people that were here prior to, I would say 1990, but who qualified and were here in 1986. The government at all levels of systems, meaning the federal, the state, the Social Security Administration, Medicare, unemployment, continue to receive payments under the fake or false Social Security numbers that the undocumented members of our society were using. And so they didn't know what to do with that money. And they came with the wonderful idea, and I believe it was during the Clinton administration, of allowing undocumented immigrants to obtain an ITIN, individual tax ID number, would be assigned to people who could prove their identities. So the government actually still doing it. They asked them for an original passport, birth certificate, IDs, in order to assign them an ITIN number. And then with that ITIN number, that person can do income tax and is able to the government is able to keep records of how much is that person earning and how much that person is paying for federal, state, Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment. It's very interesting to me how people in the community don't know about, and I'm talking about the community at large. That's why I decided to do this video in English instead of doing it in Spanish, because I know that a lot of my clients and the people that I work with in the Mexican immigrant community already know about the ITIN number program, and they utilize it every year when they do their income tax reports around this time of the year. And here is the reality is, when I present this information to the community at large, or group members in my community or in other communities, and I tell them that the government knows who they are, where they are, and the government keeps track of all the money that they are paying into the systems. And people are surprised. They cannot believe that the government is not taking action to go and get all these people deported. Well, I have news for you. The government doesn't want to do that. And the reason the government doesn't want to do that is because it's not in the best interest of the federal government, the state government, and all of the other agencies that receive benefits from undocumented people for them, to not receive this if all these people are deported. So the government is part of all this plot to, in my opinion, cheat undocumented immigrants out of the benefits that they would receive if they become legal in this country. And I firmly believe that one of the reasons neither Republicans nor Democrats have fought for an immigration reform is because they don't want to honor all these benefits that these people, approximately 12 million of undocumented people, would receive if they were to receive legal status in this country. So, for example, if you're working and you're paying to Social Security or to the Medicare system, when you retire and you are a citizen or a legal permanent resident, you will receive your retirement check. However, I have met with people who have been here since they were 22, 23 years old, and they've been here for 25, 28, 30 years, and they don't have legal status. Well, guess what? They're getting really close to retirement, and they have paid taxes. They have done their income tax, and they have all this information and folders for 15 years, using their ITIN number to prove that they have paid into the system. However, unless they become legal and they receive status, the government plans to cheat them out of what they're entitled to. And I know that the argument is, well, they're not entitled to because they didn't come here legally. Well, the government could have done something about it to prevent them from being here. However, the government is not interested in doing it because corporations take advantage of the undocumented people, paying them low wages, cheating them out of benefits. I've interviewed many people who, while the legal or U.S. citizens receive insurance, they wouldn't. Or others get paid overtime and they don't. Or others are not required to stay overtime or double time sometimes, but the undocumented people do. So know that there is many ways in which both the government and the corporations that they work for take advantage of the undocumented. That is wrong, in my opinion. It's inhumane, it's unfair. And so before you allow anybody else to tell you that the undocumented people are not contributing, I would hope you remember this video and you will defend the undocumented immigrants who work so hard in this country and provide so much for us. I assure you that so many services would be so much more expensive in the undocumented community wasn't here. Because who do you see working in restaurants? Who do you see working cleaning the lawns or cleaning hotels, babysitting children? The undocumented community. So let's be fair and acknowledge that they contribute, that they pay federal taxes, state taxes, they pay Social Security, they pay towards Medicare, they pay towards the unemployment insurance that employers pay for them. But I've had employers who have acknowledged to me that they know that if it wasn't for all the extra money, the surplus that these systems receive for the work that the undocumented community is performing, we don't know how these systems would be performing if it wasn't for the labor of the undocumented community. Finally, there is other ways in which the undocumented members of our society contribute. For example, a lot of them construct buildings around, this, even though they're undocumented, with this ITIN number, they manage to establish limited liability companies. They cannot do a corporation because of their undocumented status, but the system will let them have an LLC. And so if they have businesses like restaurants or other businesses, lawn mowing or, lawn care businesses, daycare businesses, well, they provide jobs. And through those jobs, again, they paid through payroll to federal, state, Social Security, and Medicare. They buy health insurance, they buy home insurances or car insurances. So there is a lot. There's a huge contribution to the economy in our country from the undocumented community. We need to stop demonizing and painting immigrants, undocumented immigrants, as if all they do is take away from our economic systems. That is not true. That's a lie. Undocumented immigrants contribute tremendously to our society. And I feel bad for all that they suffer for being in this country, living in the darkness. So I hope you found the video instructive, and give it a like if you like what you heard, and make a comment if you didn't like it. But this is the truth. Go and find it on the IRS webpage. I'm not lying. Any undocumented person could apply for an ITIN number. So thank you very much for your attention, and have a wonderful rest of your day.